Fierce Leaders, this is Alexia Usgaard of alexiausgaard.com. Welcome to the #1 space for bold, ambitious women who are ready to make an impact and become the CEOs of their lives and careers. Truth bomb, you only have so much time and energy in a day. So the thing is, as you get more and more successful and as you grow professionally, there's only going to be more on your plate, which therefore can make your to-do list become in this endless spiral of busyness because there's so much for you to get done. And you can often feel drained in the middle of the day as you're just completing a lot of different tasks, or at the end of the day not feel fulfilled because you're not able to tick off all of your boxes on your to-do list. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you how to stay energized throughout your workday by showing you a 4-step easy guide on how to create your not to-do list. That's right, by the end of this, you're going to be crystal clear on what you need to stop doing today because it's draining you and exhausting you and not moving you forward on your impact-driven goals. So if you're ready to save time, feel more energized, and spend more time unleashing your specific leadership superpowers, then keep on watching. All right, so we're gonna dive right in. And step #1 is to survey everything that you're spending your time on. So no joke, this is a moment where I want you to take a survey of the last 7 days, and you're gonna write down every single action that you've taken in the last 7 days. And no joke, the more specific you are, the more you're gonna help yourself and really seeing what's energizing you and what's draining the heck out of you. So here's the thing, I'm actually just gonna show you my screen so that way I can walk you through examples of how exactly I do this.
So I'm going to go into exactly what I mean by actions here. So this is my not to-do list free guide that you can find in the description box below and is a great resource for following along with the rest of this video and for doing this in your own time as well. So for example here, you can see I did this exercise a year ago, and this is what came up for me on that Monday. So you can see it encompasses my morning, the actions I was doing in the morning. It encompasses work stuff, including, writing content for the website, responding to emails, client calls, and session follow-ups. The key thing here is even to incorporate the things in between, right? So social media scrolling, walking to buy lunch and eating lunch, how many times throughout the day you're actually checking your emails, as in here, and multiple other times along here. But the more specific, the better, because this is going to give you a lot of visibility into exactly what actions are depleting you versus which ones are actually energizing you while also still moving you forward. So I hope this is a great example and gives you some clarity on how this would fit into your life.
Step #2 is to determine your top 3 most impactful actions that are moving your goals forward. And what I mean by this is now that you've taken time to survey all of the different actions that you're spending your time and energy doing, this is how I think of as the Marie Kondoing of your time and energy. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a look at every single action you wrote down, and no joke, for every single one, you're actually going to acknowledge and ask yourself 2 important questions. And this may seem redundant, but truly you're going to thank me later because the time that you spend doing this will save you so much time and energy in the long run. Your days will feel so much better. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to, for each one, you're going to ask yourself this first question. Does this action energize or deplete me? And you're gonna just trust your quick first response, and if you get a yes, you're gonna write yes, and if you get a no, write no. Then you're gonna ask yourself the second question for that same exact action, which is this an impactful action that moves me forward? And again, quick response, a yes or a no. And you're going to repeat this process for every single action on your list. And what you're going to take notice of here is what you're looking for to really determine your top 3 most impactful actions is to look for which 3 specific actions fit both yes for something that energizes you and yes as something that is impactful and moving you forward with your goals. You're now going to do step #3, which is to determine how you're going to declutter the actions that are either depleting you or not impactful. And now you're going to take all of the actions that you found are either depleting you or are not something that's impactful and moving you forward. And you're going to actually take all of those actions and put them down in another list. And you're going to go through each of those and actually categorize all of them into one of 4 categories. The 4 being elimination, automation, delegation, and distraction. And I'm going to go through each of these with you now. The first category is elimination. And typically the actions that show up for this one are really easy to suss out because it's anything that's depleting and not impactful fits this category. And a good example here is usually I see with myself and clients is relationships that are exhausting you and also that don't actually empower you to move forward. It's people in our lives or people we spend time with that we often find just aren't actually helping us to be better leaders, to be better managers, and to be better people. The second category, automation, is usually something that is impactful but draining. So good ways to usually solve for this one is actually to find a software or a technology that helps with this. So for example, two ways I've seen this is maybe you're someone who struggles with budgeting, and so actually getting an online software like mint.com is one of my favorites. Could be a great way for you to automate financial tracking and budgeting. Another good example could be that you're someone that hates doing the dishes, and it might be worth your time because it's so depleting for you to actually get a dishwasher. So those are two examples of something that you can automate. The third is delegation, and this one speaks for itself. This is something that you know that you are still spending your time doing, but it's time to ask for help. So that could be at work, actually reaching out and asking a colleague to support you with a project. This could be finding or reaching out to your boss and saying, hey, I actually think I might need to hire someone else on my team because I have so much on my plate. And so something along those lines where you're actually finding someone to delegate work to. And the fourth is distraction. And frankly, this is one of the toughest for most. And it's because they're often things that we find maybe energizing, but when we're truly honest with ourselves, they're not the things that are the most impactful for moving us forward. So I'll give you two examples. One is very often social media. And that's the aimless scrolling. That's just the kind of habitual thing we do where we just hop on our Facebook or Instagram with really no intention or need to do it in the middle of our workday. So that's a good example of a distraction. The second that I hear a lot is food. And this isn't just going, and getting a lunch break. This is, times where maybe you're in the middle of a focused work task and then you just find yourself often standing up and wandering to the pantry for 30 minutes to an hour, maybe catching a chat with someone on the way. And it's just calling yourself out and being honest, noticing what are the things that you are using as distractions that are keeping you out of your focused mode. Right, so now that you've gone and surveyed all of those different tasks and determined which of the four categories that they fit in, step number 4 is actually to choose the top 3 actions that you are going to stop doing today. And what I mean by this is to really have long-lasting change. I've seen for myself that, and actually I think this is why a lot of times New Year's resolutions don't work for many, is because we come up with these long lists of everything we want to change, and then we get overwhelmed that by January 15th, we're not sticking to them anymore. And so what I'm a firm believer in is choose the 3 things that you find when you really look and you're honest with yourself on this list that are most important that you stop doing. And to just for the next 2 weeks, focus on just saying no and stop doing those 3 things. And the beautiful thing with this is going to give you so much more space, so much more time, and so much energy back to then to put that time and to put your yeses into doing things that really are in your zone of genius, in the areas where you really shine as a leader, and in the areas that really keep you motivated throughout the day and keep you inspired. And the best part about completing these 4 easy steps is you really get to give yourself visibility into what you're spending your time and energy doing. So that way, instead of always kind of feeling that you have this endless to-do list that kind of can feel a bit out of control and feel like at the end of the day, even though you've been working super hard, you just really can't tick all of those boxes off. And actually, I'll tell you a fun fact I discovered. We're not alone when we say that it's hard to get our to-do list, our entire to-do list done. Frankly, there was a study that came out, a survey that was done by LinkedIn, where they interviewed over 6,000 global professionals, and they found that 89% of the respondents said that they couldn't complete all of their to-dos every day. And something that's really key about this is that now that you have this awareness of what is on your not to-do list, this really gives you a lot less to put on that doesn't need to be on the list, and also a lot more freedom to put more of your energy into doing the things that really drive you, that motivate you, and that juice you up. And again, if you're someone who would love to have a step-by-step workbook that guides you through what we've shared today in this video together, then I highly recommend checking out my free guide that's in my description box. And if you really enjoyed what I've shared with you today, then I highly recommend hitting the notification bell and the subscribe button, because my next video, I'm gonna show you the big tips and tricks that I have on how to create an evening ritual, bedtime routine that will give you much better sleep and set you up for success the following day. And as always, I hope you have a fierce day and feel empowered to take action, because you, my friend, matter.